Hi guys. Just waiting because that's what Instagram says. It says we're telling your followers that you started a live video. So I'll just begin. Hey, right? Oh, it says hang on. We're telling more followers to join your video. Hi, Hillary Raven Porter, and totally impromptu. Oh, my kitten's being so cute. Totally impromptu jump on for the eclipse. I was in the middle. I literally had no intention. I sometimes come on during the full moons and new moons and eclipses and stuff and do some channeled guidance. And literally, I just got out of a session 3 minutes ago. And I miss you. I miss seeing you on Playa, Cody. Miss everybody on Playa. It's a thing. But thank you. Hi, Kitten. And we just had a lovely gift from Kitten. Let me show you. Rosie. If you've seen some of my videos, you know Rosie, Maya, our family, spirit guide Mama Bear. She brings us gifts, and so this is Dirty Fishy. So Dirty Fishy is supposed to be yellow. Dirty Fishy's no longer yellow because this is her favorite present for us. Literally, you'll be in the kitchen and you'll go to the living room, which is like 5 feet away, and she'll be like, here's Dirty Fishy. You come upstairs to do something in the bedroom, and she's like, here's Dirty Fishy. Thank you so much, Bunny. But Dirty Fishy went missing for a few days. It got stuck under a table. So she's super gifting even more today with it. Thanks, Bunny. So, hi. Like I said, just out of a session, and they were like, it's time to jump on. It's alive. It's time to spread some messaging, answer some questions. So this is kind of a free forum here. If you don't know me, I'm a multidimensional healer and a Tamiana Starseed Oracle. I practice multiple modalities from traditional to the modern and the esoteric, including esoteric acupuncture, traditional Chinese medicine, acupuncture, Western herbs, plant spirit medicine, and Tamiana crystal healing. Oh, you have a cat like that. She's always pushing around. I love it. Cats are great to keep us entertained, aren't they? They're like the best little companions, especially when we interact with them. The more we interact with them, the more they interact with us, right? Yeah, so I absolutely love sessions on power days. And my guides were telling me today, they're just like, oh, just only do sessions on power days, full moons, new moons, equinoxes, eclipses. But eclipses especially, because the portal is so open. So sessions are already powerful, right? Sessions are already, they transmute so much energy. But then you open up that portal even more for the current, for the energies. My guides are mostly Palladian, and the Seven Sisters, and yeah, so they're just like, yeah, let's ride the wave. They love it. So free for all. Here we go. Don't know about you, but this I always get amped up even more with the eclipses. So let's just say my whole living room's been rearranged today, and there's just been like activity, right? And that's what happens for myself on eclipses. I feel the energy as like a booster, right? And reminding myself to yin and to go inward a little bit and to take those pause moments. So free for all. I'm gonna go back to that because I keep tangents. So if you have a question that you would like the guides to answer, or if you would like me to, I'm gonna pull a card for the collective, but if you would like me to pull a card specifically for you, or like I said, if you just would like to ask the Seven Sisters or myself a question, and get some channel guidance, because what affects one affects the all, right? Oh, a thunderstorm in Boston. That is power. That is like a whole nother electrical current. Yeah, thunder and lightning, beautiful. Unless you're standing out in an open field, then maybe not so beautiful. They say, yeah, but this is the best way to see with clarity, right? And that makes me think, oh my goodness, Cody, you might remember this. That gentleman at the burn that would put on the suit and touch the Tesla coil. Dr. Electro, Mr. Electro, Mr. For some reason, I just got a stark image of him with that current, right? That big electrical bolt. So let's begin. Like I said, totally if you have any questions that you would like specifically for you, pop them in the chat there, and I will answer them. We'll see what comes up. For now, I will pull a card for the collective. Na na no no shun got ni po ba mas na kunu sunu tashaya. This one rain is a release of all emotions, so it's the best thing in the world. Rain's amazing. Rain is the tear. Well, water transmutes, right? Water also holds, right? So it's able to go in and it turns crystalline depending on what is being, I was going to say being thrown at it, right? Energetically being thrown at it. Like cleansing. So I often send my clients to the ocean with different rituals to clearing practices. Ocean goddess, is the awe, even just of her, right? But transmutes. How many times are people like, oh, you're having a rough day? Go and have an Epsom salt bath. Cleansing, and then the minerals as well are drawing out even more. Water, cleansing, all forms. Tears. Many years ago, did a research project on tears, and not only are they cleansing, how do we feel, right? When we have a good cry, we're exhausted, but we also feel this release, right? So stagnant energy isn't being held on to, and we feel this release. The current can move. But depending on the tears that you cry, depends on the chemicals that you're releasing. If you cry from, like, let's say hitting your thumb with a hammer, so from pain, right? If you're crying out of emotional, because of emotions, sadness, or if you're crying because something is in your eye, different chemicals are released. Who knew? I would love to know if, because some people can't cry or they don't cry, and does that buildup of whatever chemical that is not being released, I cannot remember off the top of my head what the different constituents were, the different hormones, does that then lead to these conditions or certain conditions? Because there's not this release, right? And then if we are able to promote this release, do those health things, challenges, release. So, I digress. See? Tangents. Eclipse tangents. So, for the collective, I'll show you first. I love this. So this is the Tao Oracle. It's one of my most favorite and beloved decks as of late. So increase. So the picture is very much like the summer. It's reminding me of as the weather's warming up here in Victoria. As the weather is warming up, we're seeing these fields, right? These beautiful, beautiful fields of flowers and mosses. I love moss, right? So there's moss under in the woods. You can feel this increased energy going, right? So it's the season of this expansion. It's the season of getting out. It's the season of interacting. And it feels like the season of abundance. So there is this, well, they're like, yeah, and get ready, because literally, I think today or tomorrow, we're within the 2-week influence of the next eclipse already. So we're having a double for the next 2 weeks of this one and the next one, because there's about a 2-week on either side of an eclipse where we start to feel the energies, where we start to feel the shiftings. And because another one's coming within the 2-week penumbra, we're having double effects now. Increase, abundance. Hi, sweetness. What are you going to do with that abundance? What are you going to do with that increased energy? And how are you going to make sure with that abundance you take the moments to be still? To allow the abundance. We're human. We're like, sweet, awesome, I did this one thing. Sweet, awesome, I'm done that. Next thing. Taking that moment to pause and allowing that experience, allowing that completion, allowing that sense of, oh, I did it. Or, oh, that's what this feels like. Allowing to be and to fully allow the permutation. Permutation? It's probably the wrong pronunciation. Permutation? Maybe? Of that energy current all the way. So if this is your body, it goes all the way through. We don't go, oh, I can feel it, and I'm gonna go do something else. And then you're like, wait a minute, right? Bring it here. Who are you bringing us? You are a gift. Oh, Dirty Massey. So Dirty Massey, you know those little fuzzy mice? They're just like little tiny things. Yeah, it used to look like a little mouse, and now it just looks like a gray ball of something. So it's Dirty Massey. Abundance, allow. Gratitude for the abundance. Acknowledge the abundance. Thank you, Bunny. Acknowledge the abundance. And allow yourself to feel the abundance. Because what can happen? We have abundance, 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 abundance. And abundance isn't always a good thing. It can lead to overwhelm, right? You have an abundance of chores. You have an abundance of errands. And you're just like, I don't have time for all of this. This is too much. Pacing and allowing, scheduling in the time for this allowing if needed, right? Like, I don't have time. By saying I don't have time, by speaking the words I don't have time, you create no time. One of my favorite authors, Sanaya Roman, she writes these books through her guides as well, Oren, and one of their books is called Creating Money, but it's not just about creating money. I actually have it right here. Yeah. It's about attracting abundance. So I like the second part better. So it's creating money, but it's about attracting abundance. And one of the things that they speak of in one of the chapters, I like them because the chapters are easy to read. It's one of those books that by reading the words alone, you're shifting your cellular structure. And at the end of each chapter, there is an easy meditation, and it's powerful. Just even by reading it, by doing the meditations and the activities, you actually exponential increase, right? But one of them is live as if something already exists now. But that's the same with our words. If we're speaking in a scarcity mindset, which also includes time, because time, we live in linear time, but there is so much information out there about the fact, like, look at all the quantum information out there, right? Quantum physicists and all of that. If my partner was here, I would be like, hey, come talk about all this other stuff, because that's, like, we live on we live in the same plane, but we access different knowledge and different wisdoms, and he's like a sponge for all the little details and all the little facts of those things. But time is not only linear. What about that time where you're like, hey, how did I just walk 7 blocks on one song of my player? Right? I just listened to one song and I walked 7 blocks. That's not actually possible. The song was 5 minutes long. I walked 7 blocks. Right? You've altered time. Or when you're in that awe space, when you're in that, what's the other word for it? I can't think of it. It's like runner's high, right? That kind of thing. Where you get into this totally altered state, and you come out of it and you're like, whoa, I just spent time in this space. And again, either you did a ton in a short period of time, or you're like, whoa, that was just 5 hours. Where did I go? Right? Time. So if you're speaking in scarcity, in whatever way, shape, or form, then that's what you're going to have. You're going to have scarce time. So when you're noticing all this abundance, allow time in there to be, to notice the abundance, but also to just be. What is just being? Just being, going for a walk. Just being for me is baking. I love baking. Sitting with some music that I love, right? You can pulling cards, coloring. Coloring is pretty amazing. Just sitting. Sit until you're bored and then sit some more. And you come to this space of like, oh, that's what that is. Peace, some people would call it. I like to call it the space of awe. So they want me to... Okay. I love these cards. So I was asking, what is the support for this increase? Right? So increase, collective card. What, where is this focus? What supports this abundance? This increase. Revolution. Right? I love this card. It like looks like, so if you look, it looks like people in the flames. And then there's also people, like their face down here, but it looks like people dancing in the flames of this phoenix rising. So revolution. Giving up the old to make way for the new, quantum leap, transformation and radical change. This brings to mind Sasha Stone. My partner follows them, Derek follows Sasha Stone, and they're going around the States right now and giving these live speeches about a whole bunch of things, about what is kind of happening in the world right now. Wherever you sit on the spectrum of what belief system you have in the world right now, there's an uprising. There's an uprising, and it goes back to our words again. The words we speak. I was reading today, so another one of my favorite people, Dr. Sankey, Dr. Mikyu Sankey. So esoteric acupuncture, Mikyu Sankey acupuncture as well. Talking about our words, and the second we speak them, they become impregnated into the Akashic records, right? We speak them, the vibration is there, the vibration is recorded. Just be kind to each other. But it doesn't mean you also have to have your boundaries stepped over. But watch the words, because everybody's reality is different. So consider yourself from their point of view at the time. Whereas I say I get asked a lot what my view is on things, and my within the mandala room and in sessions, and I just say, what helps you feel safe? Do that. What's safe for you? So this eclipse is about increase and revolution. What transformation is in line for the collective right now? And for you, yeah, it's time to make way for the new quantum leap. What does that look like for you in your life? What are you sitting back and just allowing that isn't actually, you're like, no, I'm not doing this for me, I'm doing this for somebody else. But not like, oh, I'm helping somebody else out. You're literally like, no, I'm making myself small so that they can feel big, or I don't feel worthy. Where can you stand up in your life? Where can you rise? And allow yourself to fill the space. You are worth filling the space. Allow. Back to that word. You are worthy. You don't need to make yourself small. There's reasons. Everybody has reasons. We all have protective mechanisms that we've put in place to help us get through points of our lives. But there's no need to play small. Now, in all of these things, even when you make yourself big, now don't allow yourself in your bigness to then be like, oh, I felt small once, now it's your turn to feel small. No, let's revolt was the word that's coming in. Rise up into your own bigness. And if you look over and you're like, oh, do you need some assistance? Let me help you rise as well. Not one for one, not one for all for all. And in doing that, we all need to be, not, but be together to rise. Yeah, that's what they said. Oh my goodness. Okay. Cody. So we were talking about emotions earlier and how if people were not if they don't have the ability to shed tears, which some people don't, how that would affect them and if that would be causing some physical challenges. Definitely feeling the effects of not the ability to emotional process things. So picture yourself running long distance run. You kind of hit a wall at a certain point, and then certain things start to get depleted, and then you might have no longer have the capacity to run. You're just like, nope, done. Like, peace out. And going for a drink. Like, going to get some water and just lay in the shade because I can't anymore. And that's like we are kind of there at this 100-mile mark. I don't know, is that a long way to run? I'm not a runner, right? The 100 miles, what it took us to get this die. Eventually, you're just like, I don't even how do I express these emotions? How do I process these emotions? I don't even know what emotion I'm feeling in this moment. It's what's you'll hear these things where people are like, oh, you'll hear these things. There's like guided meditations and stuff where people talk about visualizing. Not everybody has the capacity to visualize. And I feel that's the same with emotions. If you're like, well, what are you feeling? And not everybody has the words to express what they're feeling. They don't know what anger is. They don't know what sadness is. They've never had that capacity. So when we're like, well, what are you feeling? It's like, I don't know. Instead, same thing with the visualizations. If you're doing like a guided meditation and somebody says, picture yourself under a waterfall, and you're like, well, I can't really picture it. Instead, you're like, okay, what would that sensation be for you, right? So just how does your body feel? What do you smell? What do you hear? What do you maybe taste? Is there a color that it feels like? Where do you feel it in your body? Same with the emotions. If you're like, I don't even know what I'm feeling, and the first step to being able to release Rosie gone. See, she's bringing you dirty fishy. That's how she's helping you with the emotions. Thank you, sweetness. Is where are you feeling it in your body? When you feel what other people may call sad, like let's say you're like, oh, okay, my partner broke up with me, or I'm unable to see my friends right now, or just that general melancholy from not being able to do what you normally once could do. Where do you feel at within your body? Do you feel it in your digestive system? Do you feel like butterflies in your tummy, upset tummy, cramping? Thank you, bunny. Do you get a headache? Do you get chest pain from the tightness, the constriction going in? Lungs are about grief, right? Sadness. There you go. How do you feel it? Also, drawing pictures is another really. Yes. I'll let Rosie know you say thank you. There you go. So starting with, and that's an intuition. That's intuitive senses of going to like hunger. Are you hungry? I don't know. I've always just eaten because I was told I was supposed to eat. Right? Now let's intuitively look at that and say, okay, do I feel hungry right now? No. Well, I'm not going to eat. Okay. Now and emotions. You're like, okay, well, am I being told I need to feel something? Because maybe you don't. Everybody's like, well, good example. I'm sorry, Rosie. I'm talking about this for a sec. Oh, my pet passed. Oh, well, you must be really upset. Yes, I was sad for a few days. Maybe not a few days, maybe a day. And you're like, and then I knew that they were better off. So the sadness is a little like missing them, and now it like you processed it quicker, and some people it takes longer. There's no right answer, right? You are not anybody else. But we share similar things, and we share similar things because we are a collective. the collective consciousness through the axiotonal grids. Riding that energy highway. Yeah. Anyone else have any other questions? After all of that? Yeah. Okay. Well, if nobody has any other questions, thank you for joining me. If you need support, please reach out. I offer distance as well as in person as well. Energy work is so lovely for that, right? It doesn't have to be just in person to receive the benefits of it. Yeah, you can reach me through a lovely little DM here, direct message. I always feel like, whenever I say reach me through a DM, I always feel like a 20-year-old, you know, trying to not trying to, but it's just like all what are the acronyms, the LOLs and all that other stuff. Like it just makes me, yeah. Anyways, it makes me feel hilarious. Like I'm like my mom trying to sound cool. I'm like, just send me a message here on Instagram. There's also a link to how else to reach me as well. Thank you for joining me and Rosie, apparently. And remember, allow, remain in space, let the abundance, and how can you stand up into your fullness, right? Where do you need to revolt a little bit against yourself, against something else? It's totally how can you stand into your bigness, right? It's okay to take up space. You're worth it. You're allowed. Okay? Where are you playing small? It's time to stand up. Okay. Sending oodles of love. And, and if you want to take part, I always forget about these. If you want to take part, this Sunday is the group heal. The sacred group healing activation through our lovely Pleiadian guides. Tamiana and me and Derek are doing that. And so it switched till Sunday instead of Saturday. I'll be doing a little post tomorrow. You can check out a little bit more information about that. And we'd love for you to join us. And yeah, sending love. Okay.